check. Okay. What did you say? Those are correct. Thank you. The schedule for Sunday is the Badgers against Iowa State at 5:10, followed by Purdue against Texas, roughly 7:40. We will hear from Coach Gard with an opening statement, then take questions for the student athletes. We'll then let them go and take questions for the coach after that. Please raise your hand with a question, wait for the microphone, and then start with your name and media affiliation when you're called upon, please. And if you are joining us by Zoom and have a question, please use the function to raise your hand. We will start with a statement from Coach Gard, and then we'll take questions for the student athletes. Coach?
All right, thank you. Obviously, a phenomenal environment in here. Colgate's a terrific team. Saw that from watching all the film that we were able to look at through the week. And, credit to our guys. I thought defensively, middle part of the second half on, we got really good. Obviously made plays when we needed to. Took care of the ball, which was huge. Was able to score in the paint, and then able to get them off the three-point line and do a better job of covering up some of their looks. But terrific win. Any win in this tournament is obviously terrific, and look forward to moving on to Sunday.
Thank you, Coach. Questions for the student athletes, please?
For any of you guys, Richardson out there was just knocking everything down. It seemed to start the second half, and then just like that, it went cold. Was it a plan? Was it a scheme? Or was it just, you guys realized you needed to do something different to kind of cool them off?
Just stop being lazy on defense and non-fundamental. That's all it was.
At least he's honest.
Johnny, can you elaborate on that a little bit? Just what was going wrong? Just not chasing well enough, or
Yeah, no, I remember one time it was me and Tyler Wall in a little dribble handoff, and I went under the screen or the flip instead of over, and that gave a shooter like him, especially he's a really good shooter, enough time to get his shot off.
Oh, Tyler, over on your left here. It appeared that the plan, at least, especially right off the bat in the second half, was to get you involved more offensively early. Can you talk about why that was the plan and what you were able to do in the second half to help get things in control till Johnny took over?
I mean, yeah, we did have a little emphasis on me touching the ball more in the post, and our team just plays better, I would think, when we touch the post. A lot of teams just 10 toes when you kick it out for threes, and then just closer shots. So.
Tyler, Mike Hogan from Badger 24/7. It seemed like Ben Carlson gave you guys some pretty good minutes, especially early on. Can you just maybe talk about what he gave you guys tonight?
Yeah, I mean, Ben comes in and he gets us a few offensive rebounds when shots aren't necessarily falling for us, and so that was a big spark for us. We were able to get a few offensive rebounds and then some second chance points off of it, and that just got us going, I would say.
Steve McGargy, Associated Press. For Johnny, I think he scored the last 14 points for Wisconsin. After y'all took the lead with that Corral three-pointer, what was your mindset from that point on? Because it seemed kind of took over at that point.
That was a big shot by Steve, and I feel like I've done it before, but my teammates have a lot of confidence in me, so do the coaches, to be able to close the game out.
Building off that for Tyler or Chucky, what is it like for you guys as teammates when you watch Johnny get into that kind of a zone?
No, I'm speechless. I ain't got no words to say. I just give him the ball and get out the way. I've said it before. I'm not going to say it again, but love playing with him. That's one of the best players I've ever played with, and I love this last journey with him.
Lori Nickel with the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Tyler, when they put up so many threes, does that change how you had a lot of key rebounds, does it change your rebounding approach? And then a follow-up question for anybody. This tournament seems to be bloodthirsty for upsets. Do you feel more relief that you advanced or elated that you advanced? Thank you.
I wouldn't say our mentality changes for the rebounds. When they're shooting those threes, the ball's going to bounce out a little farther, so everyone's got to check their man. And as far as upsets go, it's March Madness. Nothing's promised after this one game. Everyone's fighting for 40 more minutes.
Hey guys, Greg Matzek from WTMJ Radio. Chuck, you talk about your defensive assignment on Cummings. It's probably challenging to simulate his level of quickness in practice. Obviously, he felt like he was a little confident early, but second half seemed to be a little different story.
Absolutely. Cummings is a great player. I love the way he plays, and I let him get too comfortable in the first half. In the second half, I told my team that I was going to shut him down in the second half, and that's what I did.
Adam Rittenberg with ESPN. Johnny, what was it just like managing your emotions in this game, in this environment? I know Colgate's fans were kind of getting on you a little bit. What was that process like just from beginning to end?
Well, there wasn't too many of them, so, when they were talking, I don't know how I could hear them, but I could a little bit. But, it really don't affect me like that at all. That's just, me talking and getting myself amped up just, helps me play better.
Yeah, Johnny, building off of that, what was it like to play in front of this home crowd here in Milwaukee for the first NCAA tournament game?
It was really great. I appreciate everybody that came out. There was no way we were going to take an upset in our home state, pretty much a home game. But we need to do it again on Sunday.
Johnny, over to the left here, Jeff Patrikas, Journal Sentinel. Your shot was not falling in the first half, and I know you're a confident kid, but what allowed you to take over offensively down the stretch when your shot hadn't been falling consistently?
My teammates and coaches. Towards the end of the game, coach was calling players for me, and my teammates told me to keep shooting the ball.
Nick Bruzewitz, WSUM's Wisconsin Student Radio. This one's for Chucky. Looking at that first half from Nelly Cummings and seeing how many points he put up and, primarily being tasked with guarding him in the second half, what was your mentality going into halftime and how to stop him?
Just shut him down. He got them going in the first half, and I knew that he was the leader on the offensive side, so I knew how to get him shut down in the second half, and that would stop their offense. They still hit a couple of threes, but it still slowed down their offense, and we were able to get out and run in transition.
One more for the student athletes. Lori, please.
This is for anybody who wants to take it. I know both teams had a 9:45 p.m. tip, but what did you guys do to pass the time? Did you study? Did you get away from basketball? What did you do?
Well, it's spring break for us, so we didn't do a whole lot of studying. Just watch basketball pretty much all day, hang out with each other.
Play cards.
Play cards.
I took a walk outside. I got wet, too.
All right, thanks, guys. You're released, and then we'll take questions for Coach Gard, please.
Jim.
Greg, you talk a lot about defense feeding offense. Do you think that was the case with Johnny once he stopped being lazy, as he said? Do you think that fed his offense a little bit?
Yeah, I don't know if lazy is the right. He's pretty self-critical, if that's the right word. But obviously, to try to get them off the line, and he was right about not that he didn't go over aggressively enough in some of those situations. But anytime we can get our defense to turn into some offense, it's that he's really good in transition. Chucky's good in transition. Tyler is. So if we can get that, especially with how good Colgate is in terms of squeezing the floor, if we can get some buckets before they get set. Obviously, Johnny specifically is pretty dynamic in transition.
Greg, over to your left here, Jeff Patrikas, Journal Sentinel. What did Tyler give you tonight? I know you've seen him do things all year, but I'm thinking of one play in particular. There was a missed three, I think, and he kept it alive, which led to a three-point play by Johnny.
Yeah, he's done that all year, in terms of key rebounds at big times. I thought he could have finished a little better in the paint, but we kept trying to play through him as much as we could just because of his versatility, his passing, and the pressure it puts on a defense. But obviously he's got a nose for the ball, and he's hungry, and he understands how important resetting that possession or those possessions when he does get those offensive rebounds are.
Yeah, Greg, Johnny says, he credits you a lot for how he plays down the stretch. What do you tell him when his shots aren't falling? And, he scores 17 points in the second half today.
Well, the first half, I thought, we were pressing everybody a little too much early. I thought we were a little tight, and that's normal. You come into this environment, and they've watched games it's hard sitting in the hotel room all day and play the last game. But I thought shot selection wasn't where it needed to be in the first half. The second half, I thought we were a little better in terms of taking the shots we needed to take, playing through the paint more, not settling for jump shots, moving the ball more. And the results, obviously, when you do that, you usually shoot a better percentage.
Coach Mike Hogan from Badger 24/7 asked Tyler the same question, but it seemed like Ben gave you some good energy early on. Would you like what you saw?
Yeah, I thought he was active on the glass. It's a tougher matchup for him just because of all the mobile fours that shoot threes, other when Thompson came in. But I thought he did a good job. He was active on the glass, got us going a little bit offensively in the first half when we were too jump shot happy by getting on the glass and finishing some plays there and keeping possessions alive. So I thought he did some really good things there.
Hey, Coach, you guys are obviously a very battle-tested team. What did you think of when you guys are just kind of close there late in the second half of your defense to kind of get things going for your offense there?
Yeah, I mean, trying to, again, Colgate's a heck of a team, and that group has had a great run. Just trying to, keep them off the three-point line as much as possible, and that puts a lot of pressure on your defense. Trying to keep Cummings under control, and guarding without fouling. So you kind of pick your poison at times, and I thought we were not aggressive enough, as Chucky mentioned, on Cummings early. We were too soft on the ball. We got a little more aggressive and physical on the ball in the second half, and I think that helped, although they came out, I don't know, they went 6 for 6 to start from 3. Yeah. I thought Coach Krabinoff was going to have a heart attack in one of the timeouts. It's his scout, and but they were able to we got it under control.
Abby Schnabel, Wisconsin State Journal. Greg, your team has a knack for hitting banked shots when it really needs to happen. How big was Stephen Krau's bank with about 8 minutes to go for your momentum?
Well, I could tell from where I was standing the trajectory of the ball, it wasn't going in. I was like, nope. Oh, good shot. So, I mean, bank shots, they all count the same. I'm sure he didn't try to bank it, but it's something that Steve can do, and I think will continue to improve upon as he not bank them in, but to be able to stretch the defense that way at his size. It's a skill of his, and something he's getting more and more comfortable with.
Greg, Adam Rittenberg with ESPN. Johnny's not the most outwardly emotional guy, but how does he use energy or emotion from the crowd, even the opposing crowd sometimes, to help his game?
I would say he hates losing more than he likes winning. So for him, I've always said he's very competitive, and that's probably number one on his skill set. So he likes to compete, and he doesn't express his emotions too much. Hopefully he does it with how he plays, and I thought he got going pretty good in the second half there, and fortunately took good shots, got to the foul line. Three-point play was big off one of those offensive rebounds. So he does what great players do. When the lights get bright, they step up.
Okay, 2 more, Scott and Greg, and that's it. Thanks.
Coach, you hear so much about momentum offensively, but it was, I think, 7 minutes and 7 seconds you guys held them scoreless in the second half there. How does that sort of build and snowball defensively when things are going so right on that end?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's built your confidence, and if you can change or turn some of that defense into some offense, which we did a little bit, and some of the transition plays, that helps. But again, with their ability to shoot the three, I don't think any separation is safe, and that's what every possession gets magnified when you're only 5, 6, 8 points up, because I've seen them trim leads really quick with the three, and obviously with that many guys that can shoot it, it puts a lot of pressure on your defense to do it right the whole possession and multiple possessions in a row.
Greg, preparation is obviously challenging at this time of year. What do you know about Iowa State, and what do you need to know about Iowa State?
They're good. They won tonight. I haven't watched 1 second of them yet. Coach Oliver has that scout, so he's a week into it, and I'll convey with him when I get back to the hotel, and it'll be a long night watching the Cyclones. They're good, though. I mean, obviously, point guard's a good player. Up and down the lineup, know a couple of those guys that played in the Big Ten, Gabe Kelscher, Brockington. So it's a good team, and obviously you win and get into this tournament, and you win, you're doing something right. So we'll have to use the next 2 days here, or day and a half, to prepare and be ready for Sunday night.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck Sunday.
All right, thank you.
I think we were good anyway, but that's cool. Yeah. Yeah.
joined by the Colgate head coach and some of their student athletes. We'll take a statement from the coach first, and then we'll take questions for the student athletes. Coach?
I think the first and most important thing is credit to Wisconsin, Big Ten champions. They played a lot of close games, and I think we saw the result of all those close games tonight. I think the second thing, I've been to a lot of great venues in this country: Cameron Indoor Stadium, the Palestra, Rupp Arena, Fog Island Fieldhouse. I don't think I've ever been in an environment better than the one for a college basketball game tonight. That typically doesn't happen in NCAA tournament games. But just like last year when we played in a bubble and had an incredibly unique experience, I think this is one that our guys, although doesn't sit well right now, will remember for a long, long time.
Thanks, Coach. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Just really proud of the effort, the competitive instincts that they showed, how they played together and fought right till the end. I'm not surprised in any way, shape, or form by the performance that they put on out there tonight.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Questions for the student athletes, please?
Tucker, you were on quite a roll early in the second half, and then, I don't know if they changed something. What happened after that? What did they do differently against you, if anything?
I don't really know. I mean, I'd have to go back and watch. I was definitely feeling it for a little bit there, but I'm not trying to take any shots that aren't the team shots. I think I even forced a couple after that I probably shouldn't have. So I think that they locked in a little bit more onto me, but nothing too crazy. Just wanted to keep playing in the flow of the game, I guess.
Just to any of y'all, what was y'all's confidence level at halftime there? Forced a tie. How good were y'all feeling going in? And just, again, was there anything that differently, or just shots not falling down the stretch after that?
We were really confident the whole game, and going into halftime, I think the score was tied, so we were very excited about the opportunity in front of us. But like you said, some shots didn't fall down the stretch, and they made some shots. So the result is what it is.
Nelly, you had the basket right at the end of the first half to tie it. How big was that for you guys heading into the second half to kind of allow for Tucker to have the momentum?
I think it was good because they were making a run as well, so it felt like we weathered the storm and we were able to go into halftime with the score tied and basically it's a fresh start to the game basically. So.
For Tucker, there was a sequence there at the end of that 10-0 run. You shot a three-pointer. It looked like you thought you might have gotten some contact, and then they break out for the dunk on the other end. Just how critical was that sequence there at the end of that run? How much of a turning point was that for you?
Yeah, I guess it was a big play. I didn't really get hit. I got hit just a little bit. It wasn't, I can't blame the refs or anything. It wasn't anything that they did wrong. So definitely a little momentum turner, but we always try and just stay in the game, so we could have easily still found a way to grit it out. They just made more plays than we did at the end.
Well, let's ask Jack a question. So since he made the trip over, can you talk about your emotions of this game and the outcome?
Yeah, my initial emotions are really frustrated, but also extremely proud of, what we've been able to do in my career. Now that I've had a little bit of time to reflect, it's going to be, emotional leaving all these guys, but I'm super proud of everything we were able to do in the past 5 years.
All right, thanks, guys. You're free to go, and then we'll take questions for Coach.
Matt, I think you had 24 points on 14 possessions to start the second half, and then I think you went 9 without one. Did you see anything differently, whether it was anything your team was doing or anything Wisconsin was doing to keep you from scoring?
Yeah, I think Wisconsin, amped up their defensive intensity a little bit more. Tucker got loose a couple times. They weren't going to let him get loose anymore. The game got a little bit more physical, as you would expect from a Big Ten champions in the guts of a close game. And I thought we had some chances one-on-one inside that we weren't able to finish. There were some plays that we didn't get to the free throw line. which you have to do when they're extending their pressure and not playing as much help defense. And so, we weren't able to make those plays, and they, led to opportunities down the other end. I thought they were really effective in the paint in the second half. I thought that, in the first half we kind of neutralized that if we didn't exceed their paint scoring, and I thought that was the difference of the game in the back part of the second half.
Coach, Tyler Wall was giving you guys a lot of trouble, especially in the second half, but had a lot of some of those intangible plays in the first half. Can you just comment on Tyler Wall's performance tonight?
Yeah, Tyler Wall is an extraordinary college basketball player in my mind. I think that, a lot of guys on the team get a lot of credit for due reason, but we call him winning plays, and Tyler Wall makes a lot of winning plays. That being said, I think, he got 15 points, but it took him 18 shots, which is not normal for him. So he's usually a very efficient player. So, he definitely impacted the game and, got some loose balls and some offensive rebounds and helped them win the game like he has so many times this season. But I thought for him to get 15 points on 18 field goal attempts was kind of where we needed it to be, that 1-to-1 ratio.
We're going to try to take a question from Zoom, please.
This is Daniel Rodriguez with This League with Daniel in Miami. Hey, Coach. We spoke earlier in the week about what it meant to be in the tournament. My question is, what do you take from this experience, and how proud of you for the team and the way they competed tonight and what they accomplished this season?
Thanks for your question, Daniel. I'm immeasurably proud of this group. I told them in the locker room I'm no less proud of them for their performance tonight than when we won the championship in front of our home crowd to get this opportunity. I think the experience is one that they'll remember. For the guys coming back, it'll only add fuel to the fire to continue to do what they've been doing and working hard to prepare themselves to compete for championships. And again, I think if you're consistent enough in your approach and continue to knock on the door, that eventually luck favors the prepared and things go your way. So that's what I know our guys coming back will continue to do.
Matt, the crowd got loud a bunch of times tonight, but your players didn't seem to buckle. Were there any moments where you thought you had to try and calm them down or anything like that? Anything that sticks out in your head as being a key moment in terms of getting your guys to settle down?
No, it's just no. I mean, they've been through so much, and so no, that they weren't rattled at any point in the game. But the crowd has an impact on the game. There's no doubt about it. We're all human beings, and you can feel the energy and emotion, and everybody involved in the game, the players and the officials are all humans, and we react to energy and emotion, and so. The crowd was fantastic. I thought the energy throughout the game was incredible, but my guys weren't rattled, and I didn't. That wasn't a concern. We knew we would be, we wouldn't be the team everybody was rooting for, but I never questioned whether they would fracture or anything like that.
Coach, thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And a reminder that all of these press conferences are being recorded, and they're available at the NCAA Digital Hub at ncaaveritone.com. That's VERITONE. Transcripts available as soon as possible and will be posted shortly. We'll have news conferences tomorrow to preview Sunday's games. Thanks for joining us.